Greetings, Earthlings! Welcome to another awesome episode of Urban Nerd Weekly. Today is Thursday, May the 9th, and it's episode 21 of season 2. Thanks for joining, y'all. Today's nerd news update got a little news on Lil Wayne and Blink-182. The Facebook co-founder wrote an op-ed for the New York Times saying Facebook needs to break up. Fortnite revives Tilted Towers, and we got a jam-packed digital download for you guys today. I can't wait to tell you. So tune in, nerd out, to today's episode of Urban Nerd Weekly.
Ain't no freestyle, bitch, this that he style. Hey, it's your boy Spaceship, man. I got a new podcast out I want y'all to subscribe to, bruh. It's called Urban Nerd Weekly, available on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play Music. My
back up in this shit. I just like some couple beats. I'm about to hit the stick, so go and follow me on Twitter. Now watch me crank that urban. Now watch me crank that urban. Watch me crank that urban. Now watch me crank that urban. Back up in.
Yeah, what's up, guys? It's your boy Space. Space was here. SpaceWasHere.com at SpaceWasHere, all that good shit. How you guys doing today, man? It is an awesome day to be alive. I'm so glad that you and your friends or whoever or just you just tuned in and listened to Urban Nerd Weekly today. Love doing this podcast. Love making you guys laugh. I love bringing y'all this nerd news update like I'm about to do right now. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and remind you guys to go ahead and follow me on the big 3 social media sites that would be Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Space Was Here, SPAYCEWUZHERE. And now, Urban Nerd Weekly has their own Facebook and Instagram page, so you can follow Urban Nerd Weekly on Instagram at Urban Nerd Weekly or on Facebook / Urban Nerd Weekly. So, let's get into today's nerd news update. First on the palette is Lil Wayne and Blink-182 are going on tour together. What? I feel like this is about to be one of those epic ass, like, tours. Like, I feel like this is about to be that tour that makes motherfuckers want to, like, be on tour again. Like, you ever just see, like, 2 great acts or some like a really great act on tour and you get all that behind the scenes footage? Like, that's the thing that makes a lot of us, like, entertainers want to go on tour right there. I feel like Blink-182 and Lil Wayne, that's about to be some epic shit. All right. On to the next little bit. Fortnite revives Tilted Towers, and this is a little thing that's going on in the game if you're not sure. And it's like they took it away, and now it's back, I guess. And not only is it back, but now they have a new little naming system for it, I guess, which sounds pretty fucking sweet. I'm gonna have to get my little nephew to, like, show me all about this Fortnite shit, because, like, Fortnite came out, like, right around the time I had got, like, a new day job. So, like, I'm just so lacking on all the good nerd shit lately, man. Gotta get on to this game. But anyway, other nerd news. Meek Mill's Dream Chasers 2 mixtape. Wait, is it Dream Chasers 1 or Dream Chasers 2? Oh, no, it's Dream Chasers. All right, so that's the throwback nerd news update of the day is Meek Mill's Dream Chasers mixtape came out 7 years ago today, right? And not only did it come out 7 years ago, but it broke Dat Piff with I remember that shit. It broke Dat Piff with like 2 million downloads in like a day. Like, the site was down. I remember that shit. Because there's only, like, this has happened only a handful of times that I can remember. But I know for a fact that this mixtape and was it 2 Chainz? Which mixtape from 2 Chainz? I think it was True Religion mixtape when it came out on livemixtapes.com. That shit broke live mixtapes. Like, that shit was crazy. And now I'm starting to look like Dream Chasers came out 7 years ago. Shit like that made me feel old as fuck, yo. Like, that's crazy. I'm not even that old, but that means this mixtape came out when I was like 21. And I'm not that old, but when they say 7 years, it makes 21 seem like a whole nother lifetime ago. That shit's crazy. And other nerd news today. The Facebook co-founder, Chris Hughes, wrote an op-ed in the New York Times saying that Facebook needs to break up. And this has sparked a bit of conversation on the internet because, first off, he's the co-founder of Facebook. Like, when you watch the Social Network movie, that's the guy that was like, but I was your only friend. That's the nigga. Like, this is that dude, okay? He helped Mark start Facebook way back in the day. And he's like, I haven't even been a part of Facebook for like the last 10 years. And some people think, this is him coming at Mark But I don't know. I'm doing more research on what, what's really going on, and I read part of the op-ed article. I couldn't read the whole thing because I had to come and record the show today, so I'll definitely be probably posting on social media about that later. Excuse me. Burp came out of nowhere. Real life on your ass. But yeah, so he wrote the op-ed in the New York Times, and of course, Huffington Post picked up the story, and I think there was either New York Times or Huffington Post that did an interview with, like a video interview with him to kind of go along with the op-ed, and he was basically saying that, Facebook has become too big, like it's too powerful as a thing on the internet, as an entity, and he's basically analogizing it with, other big companies in different industries, and he's, basically saying that in other industries, we don't like for anyone to have a monopoly on that industry yet. And when it comes to the social media, we allow Facebook to do so. And he starts to explain how a lot of big companies try to make it seem like there's so much more variety on the market. When, like, he used soda as an example. Like, people think there's like a ton of soda companies, but in all actuality, all of those different companies are really owned by like a handful of companies. And if you're if you're an artist in the music industry, you know the same thing, that there seems like there's a ton of labels out there, but all of the labels that you know of are really sub labels that are signed and have deals with the big three, and some people even think there's 6 of them. No, there's only 3. Most of them have been absorbed by one or another, or they've become some type of conglomerate, or they have like partnerships going on to where there might as well be one company. So he's basically saying that's the same thing that Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook are doing on the internet. He's saying like that's the problem that we've been having for all the last couple of years, is that we keep finding Facebook and all these different scandals because it's become so big. It's become easy for the Russians, quote unquote, to be able to come in and, hack the election using social media and things of that nature. And he's also basically saying that, Facebook does the same thing that bigger companies do, and that like he sees every day on Facebook people saying, oh my God, I'm so tired of Facebook, I'm about to shut my account down. Thank God for Instagram. And, he tells something that we all of us on Urban Nerd Weekly already know, because we did a whole episode on it on season 1 about how, Facebook owns Instagram. And what I did not know, however, that I found out today was that Facebook also owns WhatsApp. I didn't know that shit. So that's one of the perfect examples of what he's saying, because people think that they have all these extra options when most of these options are really controlled by, the handful of social media companies that are the juggernauts, which, you already know them because I just asked you to follow me on their sites, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And the fact that I said Facebook and Instagram has always made me laugh, even from the first day I recorded my first episode of Urban Nerd Weekly, because I've been on the internet since the whole social media thing began. I'm 28 years old. So that means that when I was 13, Facebook was becoming the shit. And he also mentioned how when Facebook came out, they just used the technique of they either buy the company that has the newest social media buzz going on, or they copy the thing that makes them unique. And that's not far from the truth at all. I mean, even MySpace did this back in the day. Anybody that's around my age that had a MySpace page during the whole Soulja Boy era, during the time Dane Cook was the shit, during the time that, Tom from MySpace was a slick celebrity online, during that era, like, whenever something new came out, MySpace did the same shit and copied. Like, when Twitter first came out, they were the thing that gave you the ability it was the only thing that you could post a status on, right? Everything was 140 characters or less. That's all you had every time you posted, right? And then what happens? Like, by this point, when Twitter came out, Facebook and MySpace were still like kind of neck and neck. Like, Facebook was still like this new kid on the block. Like, he was kind of cool. He's got a pretty cool skateboard, and his dad drives a Porsche, but we don't really know this guy yet, but he's cool. Whereas MySpace was been that nigga by this point, right? MySpace was the nigga we all been fucking with since, like the 8th grade and shit. We know this nigga, he's cool, right? And then Twitter comes out, gives you the ability to post a status, and I shit you not, because I had a MySpace and a Facebook at this time. I had both of them, and both of them took the idea that Twitter had. Now, they gave you the ability to post a status, and that's how the news feed was born. That's part of the reason that Twitter will always be relevant. Like, that's why we'll always have a Twitter page. That's why you can still use Twitter to leverage your social media power and you move your content, because at the end of the day, Twitter is the one that came up with the whole idea of the timeline and the feed, and, you know, the whole posting statuses and links and photos and shit to a timeline line idea. Everybody else, when you wanted to post a picture, there was a little space for you to have pictures. You know, you had a space for your little mini blogs on there. People even forget that you can blog on MySpace and Facebook and shit like that, because everybody got so addicted to what Twitter. You know, what Twitter is a microblog. That's the 140 characters. That's a microblog. Now it's like, what, 240 or 280 or some shit like that? Like, they expanded the amount of characters that you could use just so, you know what I'm saying, you could fit more things instead of having to post like a whole long list of tweets and shit like that. But to this day, like, the thing that keeps most of these sites relevant is the fact that they have the whole poster status feature. Like, when you go on your MySpace, when you go on, not MySpace, who the fuck is going on MySpace anymore, except for, like, Justin Timberlake and shit. When you go on your Facebook, when you go on your Instagram, you're looking at your timeline most of the time. You're just scrolling. That's what you're doing, right? That came from Twitter. They are the OGs of this shit. So because they started that, that's why they will always be relevant. And if you are a content creator or you want to do anything on the internet, please be reminded. Like, Twitter is still a tool you can use. They ain't paying me to say this shit. This is just something I figured out from being on the internet almost all the time since, like, 2008 actively, and every now and then from 2003. And Facebook did definitely copy that, just like Chris said. And it's a part of the reason that they're still able to be the juggernaut that they are. And then he started to basically break down that, you know, Facebook kind of is the internet now. Like, anywhere you go, like, notice if you log on to your Facebook on your browser, I ain't just talking about the app, but if you have a browser and you log into Facebook, everywhere you go on the internet, you can like shit. Like, it's a piece of Facebook and everything. I mean, it's a very genius idea, and that's why I feel kind of complex in agreeing with what Chris is saying, just because he's, you know, Mark is still kind of doing something that no one's done yet. So how can we regulate? Do you regulate the trailblazers? I don't know. How do you? You know, who tells the guy that's doing what's never been done to do before? You can't really do that, can you? And the fact that Facebook is still thriving means everything he's doing is still kind of working. So what do you... and then at this point, if what you're saying is true, how do we break up Facebook? What, you're going to make them, like, let Instagram and WhatsApp be their own apps? I mean, that's cool and shit, but, you're still going to have a Facebook page. You're still going to need at this point, you don't even start a business without an Instagram or a Facebook page. Even if Instagram isn't a part of Facebook, Facebook is still going to be a part of everything on the internet. But that's just my opinion for right now. You know what I'm saying? That's today's nerd news update. And today's digital download. We ain't got no video games coming out today. But however, we do have a little music coming out. And the first, and both of these albums come out tomorrow, not today. It come out tomorrow on Friday. The 10th. And first on deck, we got Logic, which is Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which I think that's probably going to be a dope-ass album. I think I'm going to try to stream that. And I'm trying to stream that Tech 9 album that came out a couple of weeks ago that I was talking about here on the show. Both sound like very worthy listens. We also got a re-digital download, the first ever, because Miss Queen Key, apparently the day that I said her album came out, her album came out, I guess it wasn't ready, or there's been a delay. However, Eat My Pussy Again is out officially today. So, if y'all are as intrigued by that title as I am, by the artist known as Queen Key, please check out Eat My Pussy Again, because, you know, I already said it came out a different episode. In the movie section of today's digital download, we got the movie The Hustle, a movie called Palms, a movie called Tolkien, and of course, all coming out tomorrow, Friday, May the 10th. We also got Pokemon Detective Pikachu, which, you know, I have my mixed emotions about the movie Detective Pikachu, because as a Pokemon fan since day one, I watched the premiere of the pilot episode of Pokemon all the way until, you know, shit started getting real weird and I started liking, like, pussy and weed and shit. But really, I've been a very longer body Pokemon citizen fan. I still have my notebook of the like my 75 out of the 150 original. Was it 150 or 125? I got 75 out of all the original Pokemon cards. Like, I still got that shit. Like, I played it on Nintendo, on the Game Boys and shit. Like, I literally bought Game Boys. Well, I asked for Game Boys for Christmas so I could play those games. So I'm a little sad that the first Pokemon movie that's live action isn't going to be about Ash Ketchum and Pikachu. Like, I'm not looking for a shot-for-shot remake of the first season all jammed into this movie. However, I was kind of looking for an epic tale about how, Ash Ketchum and Pikachu, started their journey. I mean, we've accepted that shit ain't gonna go the same in the movies as the original piece of media that it came out. Iron Man doesn't go directly by the comics, neither did Batman. Marvel nor DC has followed the script shot for shot when they make a big time movie off of something they've already had a cartoon or a comic book off of. So we weren't looking for that. We weren't looking for the movie to be like the fucking book in this example, even though it's not a book. Anyway, we're not looking for that. But however, I was expecting to see Ash Ketchum. I was expecting to see Pikachu. I was expecting to see them struggle. And I was expecting to see him shit on that one kid that was his rival, whose name, I swear to God, I remembered up until I started recording this episode. I think it was fucking Gary or some shit. All I know was I was ready to see him shit on that asshole because he was such a dick in the first season of Pokemon. If you ever saw it, you'll agree. However, Pokemon Detective Pikachu will be out tomorrow, and it's starring Ryan Reynolds, so that gives me some hope that it'll be entertaining, but it's not what I wanted. But that was today's digital download. And it wasn't until I was doing the write-up for this episode, getting ready to record it, I realized I did not ask you guys the question of the day last week. So, we're just gonna skip it, and I was just acknowledging it, because I didn't want to slide past that, like I just, didn't notice the shit. But, however, on to today's topic, and I wanted to give you guys a little reminder before I get to today's topic. Please hit up my website, spacewashere.com, SPAYCEWUZHERE.com. Please join the mailing list so you can get all the newest updates when it comes to my upcoming parody mixtape, Snacking Off, all the news about Urban Nerd Weekly, plus all of my YouTube videos getting ready to come out. I'm telling you guys, I'm about to flood your face holes with content. Your ear hole, your eye hole, you're gonna laugh, so that's your mouth hole. And this is starting to get weirdly sexual, so I'm gonna stop talking about holes now. But I'm gonna make you happy. All right, that didn't sound better either. But spacewashere.com, check it out. Today's topic is a throwback Thursday topic, today being Thursday. I thought it would be awesome if today's throwback topic, we could talk about Spawn. Now, a lot of guys I know have probably seen the movie Spawn like I did. I was a kid, I saw the movie Spawn starring Michael J. White. It was an awesome movie. And at the time, as being a little kid, I didn't even honestly know that there was a comic book that it was based off of. I thought it was just a cool-ass movie. But of course, I got a little older. I got into comic books when I got in about middle school age. That'd be like 11 through like 13 or 12 or something like that. And that's when I discovered that Spawn had a comic. Like, at first I thought the comic was based off the movie, but then I got schooled and realized that the movie was based off the comics. So on today's topic, Throwback Thursday, we are going to explore Spawn. Now, y'all already know how I do my explorations. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I did a whole bunch of research. I have a cornucopia of knowledge in the back of my mind. I literally just scroll around the internet while I'm talking to you guys and pick up little information, and I relay it to you. So, because basically that's what you do if you was going to look it up. So I just, do it for you. I got an active thumb today. So today, we all about Spawn. Spawn is a fictional superhero appearing in a monthly comic book of the same name published by an American company by Image Comics. By an American company named Image Comics. Created by Todd McFarlane, with Tom DeFalco contributing, the character first appeared in Spawn #1 in May of 1992. This is the perfect fucking episode for today. It's the month to the year anniversary of Spawn. That's fucking awesome. All right, let's go with this shit. All right, the character first appeared in Spawn #1 in May of 1992. I was a wee 2-year-old. Spawn was ranked 60th in Wizards Magazine's list of the top 200 comic book characters of all time, 50th on Empire Magazine's list of the 50 greatest comic book characters, and 36th on IGN's 2011 top 100 comic book heroes. Now, I'm sorry, I just had to take that breath because I was drinking coffee before I recorded the episode, so I forgot to breathe while I was talking. Anyway, the series has spin off several other comics, including Angela, Curse of the Spawn, Sam and Twitch, the Japanese manga Shadows of Spawn. Spawn was adapted into a 1997 feature film portrayed by Michael J. White. I remember that shit. And that's what I was just talking about. An HBO animated series lasted from 97 until 99, a series of action figures whose high level of detail made McFarlane Toys known in the toy industry, and a 2019 reboot film starring Jeremy Renner and Jamie Foxx alongside a sequel animated series. What the fuck? Wait, it's 2019 now, and I didn't see that shit. The character also appeared in annual compilations, miniseries specials written by guest authors and artists, and numerous crossover storylines and other comic books. Now, here is the origin of Spawn. Albert Francis Al Simmons, in quote Al, his name was, nickname was Al, was a highly trained U.S. Marine Force recon lieutenant colonel and government assassin who at his most successful point saves the United States president from an assassination attempt. He is prompted to a high security level and recruited to a highly classified unit within the CIA devoted to black ops. Once there, he began to question the morality of what his agency is doing. Unit Director Jason Wynn hires Bruce Stinson, codename Chapel, Simmons' friend and partner, to kill him. Ain't that just like some dope boy type shit? That's fucked up. In a blazing inferno, Simmons is killed and his soul sent to hell because he has knowingly killed innocents while working for the CIA. Simmons makes a deal with an evil being known as Malebolgia. In exchange for his soul, he will get to see once again his wife Wanda. However, when Simmons returns to the human world, 5 years has passed, and he has been transformed into a demonic creature with little memory of his former life. After regaining his memories, he seeks out his wife only to find that she has moved on and is married to his best fucking friend, Terry Fitzgerald. Yeah, that'll make a nigga pissed off. And that they now have a daughter named Senna. And after this, the Violator appears and reveals to Simmons the purpose of his resurrection. They fight, but the battle is interrupted by Malebolgia. Early history of Spawn. In his early battles, Spawn first faces street thugs and gangs, becoming a dark and brutal anti-hero, culminating in the brutal murder of a pedophile and child murderer named Billy Kincaid. As a result, he gains the attention of the detective duo of Sam Burke and Twitch Williams. It is around the same time that Spawn becomes king of Rat City, a gathering of alleys where bums and homelesses live. There, he meets a bum, Coglistro, who seems to know much more about Spawn than he first lets on and becomes his mentor. Spawn is also haunted by the warrior angel Angela, who hunts Hellspawn for sports and battles the cyborg mob enforcer Overt Kill. This confrontation almost kills Spawn, but he is able to emerge victorious. He is again haunted by Angela and fights the angelic warrior Anti-Spawn, aka the Redeemer, who was in fact Jason fucking Wynn. Damn. After a confrontation with the Redeemer, Spawn's suit mutated and became more advanced. Its new cape and chains were able to shapeshift into different things to confuse his opponents. The cape now looked slightly torn, and the costume had lost its red glow. Having evolved to what is now black and white, Spawn's boots and glove had also changed, having been replaced with spikes. Spawn used his new equipment to slash off the Redeemer's hands and defeat him. Spawn thought that the battle was over until he met someone more powerful than Redeemer known as the Freak. Spawn fought with the Freak but was caught unaware by the Freak's ability to create nightmares, which he did to torture Spawn with his past. During the battle, a creature appeared to have the original appearance of Spawn fights other beings and creatures and knocks out Spawn. When Spawn awakens, the creature tells him that ever since the metamorphosis, the suit will feed off of souls. Spawn later finds himself in New York City. He will fight with the Curse, meet Harry Houdini, who taught him about magic, and also motherfucking Batman. After this, Tony Twist sends a reprogrammed overt kill after Terry, blaming him for the recent attacks on the mob, and Spawn is forced to reveal his identity while saving his friend. However, it is well-placed shot from Twitch Williams that brings down overt kill. He would later bring back his friend Bobby after he was killed in another fight with Chapel. Spawn would be a part of Angela's trail and later revealed to the South and had an encounter traveled to the South and had an encounter with the KKK and an abusive father of 2 boys. When it returned to New York, it was attacked by a new Redeemer. This caused his costume to evolve and defeat the Redeemer with a newfound power. After another encounter with the Curse, the suit began to go wild, and after saving Terry from cancer, sent him to hell. But Malbolgia sent him back with full control of the suit. Spawn wears a living symbiotic costume, Letha of the 7th House of K, also known as K7 Letha. While wearing it, the host assumes a dominant role over his suit. His shrouds, spikes, chains, and skulls are all part of an organism bonded to his central nervous system that will protect Spawn even if he is unconscious. Now, I don't know about y'all, but outside of the whole part where you gotta go to hell to make that shit happen, that sounds like some legit ass shit, man. I fuck with Spawn over this shit right now. That was today's topic, man. I'm glad we got to enjoy a little, perusing over who Spawn was. And if you want to talk a little bit more about Spawn, feel free to hit me up on the comments of the show. Make sure you subscribe, though, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn. All that good shit, man. Coming soon to Spotify and iHeartRadio. I thank you guys once again for joining me on today's episode of Urban Nerd Weekly. As always, I was glad to nerd out with you guys, man. We're going to leave you with today's question of the day, which is, what is your state's dumbest law? Now, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that question came up with by Kitty, who will be on one of next week's episodes. So stay tuned, guys. My name is Space Was Here. See, because I'm Space, and see, I was here, but now I'm